Hey everyone, welcome to our 31-day look at change and transformation and where it comes from, what gets in the way of it, and why sometimes does it feel like we're trying so hard, just putting so much effort in and nothing changes. We just stay stuck in the old habits, stuck in the old job, the old rows with people, the old patterns, and nothing changes. And why sometimes fundamental change, enormous change, just happens at the drop of a hat, like without any effort, without any planning, without any pre-thought, without anything, any sort of conscious trying. It just happens. Why would that be? And it's such a great question, and I'm so glad we've got a whole month to look at this, because really what we're looking at is who are we, and what is this reality that we find ourselves in? And until we answer that question for ourselves, until we really explore it and really go boldly into it with eyes wide open, with real intrigue and curiosity, until we do that, we're stuck in a film. We're stuck in a creation of thought, with a created idea of ourselves, a created idea of reality, and none of it's questioned. It's just taken at surface value. It's just, this is how it is. This is how I am. This is what I need to be okay. This is what sorry about the noise, it's kittens going mad. This is what I need to be okay. This reality is how it is. Nothing's changing in it. And none of that's questioned. None of that is investigated or explored. It's just how it is. Which means that we're characters in a film playing a script. We've been given a script, which is this conditioned belief and thought handed down since cavemen, unquestioned. Bam, that's who you are. That's who they are. That's what reality is. Get on with it. And without questioning it, there's no freedom possible. There's no truth possible. There's no real excitement of the exploration of what life really is. What actually are we? And so that's what we're going to look at over this month. And I'd like us to start with a traditional coaching tool, which many of you might have seen already. It's this one, which looks at hopefully you can see that okay, which looks at the different elements of life. So career, money, health, friends, family, personal development, leisure, relationships, physical environment, your home or your garden, where you work. And traditionally we would go to a coach and we would rate ourselves against these criteria, scoring out of 10. So say on money, say if you really weren't earning what you wanted to be earning, you give yourself a low score, and then you'd work with the coach to earn more money. Now, what's really interesting about that, because this is really all about change, all about the change in the different areas of life. The really interesting thing is that until there's a fundamental questioning of that reality of a person, an identity of Clare, say, who not only needs to be earning money but can't, who's trying and failing to earn however much she wants to earn, in a reality in which clients aren't signing up, or she's losing money, or she's in debt, or she keeps getting these bills in, until there's a fundamental inquiry, a deep inquiry into the nature of that entire reality, then that's just a script that's going to keep playing itself out over and over again, because that's the unquestioned belief. Like belief means it's real. As long as I'm believing something, it's real. That's me, that's who I am, and that's the reality. Without until we explore that, that's just going to play out over and over again. And any attempt to change it is just going to reconfirm that belief, because I'm going out as an unquestioned identity of someone not able to earn enough money into a reality in which it's hard to earn money. And because of the nature of belief, to seek out supporting evidence, that's like how it works. It finds stuff that's going to make that belief even more compelling. And so any attempt from that place to go out and earn more money is just going to, oh God, shit, I've worked with a coach, I've worked with all these money books, with this self-help, and I'm just not someone who can earn money. People don't want to work with me. I can't seem to convert conversations into money. I can't launch programs. Whatever it is, it will just be confirmed. So that's how it's working. Belief of an idea of self looks out through that lens, through that filter, and just sees the same reflected back. So evidence everywhere. And that's why change doesn't happen. That's the only reason why change doesn't happen, because change is the nature of life. It's the nature of reality, but belief fixes a position in place and says, this is who I am, this is how life is. Can't do anything about that. So it's so cool for us to see this. It's a position, it's a totally unnatural, false, made up position that's defended and supported and looked for evidence to continually underline it and emphasize it. And it's out of sync with everything, because nothing is fixed. There's no position, there's nothing that is at a standstill. If you look out in the garden, even a rock is moving. It's dynamic. It's full of energy and movement. There's nothing static in it whatsoever. And yet this belief that we have, this I'm like this is how I am, this is how the world is. It's totally irrational, but it's normal, because that's just what the conditioned environment is saying is how things are. So we're going to reverse all of that this month, and I'm so excited about it, because when we look then at that coaching wheel, which we'll come back to over the course of these days, we're going to start to see how any view of a self in a fixed reality is always, always, always false. It's never true. It's never objectively real, ever. And the more deeply we explore that, the more that realization comes about, then those old fixed positions can't survive anymore. And instead there's this realization or understanding of life, of flow, of dynamic force, of miracle, of transformation, constant from one form to the other all the time. And that's who we are. So change is who we are, but the desire for change because I'm like this and I need that is what's the word? Antithesis of change. It's the opposite of it. It's saying this is fixed and it can't ever be. So the desire for change, because I'm like this and I need to be like that, is the only thing stopping, the only thing hiding the inevitable change that's happening all the time.